I really don't want social media. I really don't, because I don't want to feel like this on daily basis. How do you want to feel in life, right? Do you want to feel vital and excited and joyful, or do you want to feel stressed and down and overwhelmed and anxious all the time?
I mean, the answer is pretty easy, but someone once said on a podcast, I was listening to Joe Rogan, I don't remember, it has so many guests. One of the guests said that if you're smart, you should be able to know how to live a happy life. But it seems that a lot of smart people just don't know how to be happy. And
That's such a yes.
no, let me finish. Let me finish. And he said, if you're, there are ways of making you happy, improving your life, but you need to know how to do it. Control, like, and then he went on to describe all those things that we've been talking about, like managing your lifestyle, managing how much you use social media and stuff. Like, a lot of people, they are very rich, they consider themselves to be very smart, but they still fall short on all of those other things. They, quote unquote, don't have this the intelligence of how to be, quote unquote, happy. And I honestly would agree. It's like, it's those small life hacks that most people just don't seem to prioritize. Don't you think
So,
so?
assumption, I totally disagree.
Okay.
Being smart has nothing to do with knowing how to be happy.
Okay.
Knowledge that you have in your head has nothing to do with quality of your life. I know plenty of very smart people that are miserable, poor and broke. And I know a lot of people who are not smart and they're happy, joyful, and have a phenomenal quality life.
How would you define like intelligence then?
Intelligence has nothing to do with it. It is your perception of the world that creates that. That's first thing. Second of all, your brain type. There are 16 brain types, and every brain type concentrates on different things.
What? 16?
Yeah. And all of them have overactive, underactive, different. There are 12, I believe, 12? 12. They did a study on 40,000 brain scans with the same symptoms outside on depression. All of these people were diagnosed with depression, same symptoms. Guess what happened?
What
They
happened?
thought the brain would look the same. It turns out that no, there are seven different types of depression. And surprisingly to everybody, in some areas of your brain, it's overactive. It's a UCLA study with Dr. Amen. And everybody went, but how? That's why a lot of SSRIs don't work. That is why we have now found that very often Prozac and other antidepressants are less effective than lifestyle changes and being outside and getting your circadian rhythm and getting your dopamine and your sun and your movement in. There's no way of getting out of depression without a movement. There's so many new studies that are coming out based on the brain. And don't get me wrong, some people will need, to supplement that with the chemical SSRI. But overall, it's very often not necessary. So there's so much science that is practical that we can translate into daily usage. And not to look far, women who are perimenopausal and menopausal, when they have anxiety and depression, they automatically receive antidepressants. We have found that most of them are just having symptoms of perimenopause and menopause, and that's related to hormones. Enough would be enough to give them hormone replacement therapy, and the anxiety and depression will be gone. We don't need an SSRI.
That's the thing. Everything is so interconnected. All the
Yeah.
parts of the body, all the elements, like, and it seems like medicine isn't. You go to a doctor for the eyes, and then you go a doctor for the skin, and they all are very good, and they focus on individual aspects. But that's just my observation, right? It seems like,
Because we're complex creatures. That's why you need to, first thing you need to do as a grown human and teach your kids is how to recognize what's happening inside of you and trust that. I forgot, by the way, one thing about which is super important. Europe is not very much on board with that one, but it's phenomenal. If you've been diagnosed with dyslexia, dysgraphia, or ADHD, few of the types, check for Arlene syndrome.
What?
Yes, Arlene syndrome. It is life changing, and your symptoms can go away with just the right type of glasses. It is the, there we go, Arlene syndrome. What happens is your visual cortex of your brain doesn't process the light properly. And every brain, there are colors that are kind of creating this overwhelm. And there's a simple test, and after that test gives you indication that you might have it, then you go for a professional assessment, and they create special glasses with special filters for you. And the headaches, dyslexia, overwhelm, the feelings of light sensitivity go away within weeks.
That's like
No medication needed.
some kind of witchery. You just put on those glasses and you're cured.
They
That's
have to be, no, so there are 7 different colors that they would be used or mixed. So every person then is assessed and they find what works for you. They test on you which one is for you. So it's not like every person puts on the same types of glasses.
oh, okay.
But your visual cortex, which is 50% of your brain, right? It takes a lot of space. If it's over agitated with, and it's overworking because of the processing, if you allow it to rest, it will rewire itself. And those symptoms, which are symptoms of your brain being struggling, go away. And then when your brain stops struggling, you stop creating feelings, because feelings are created by the brain, nothing else. So it goes, okay, I don't have to be overwhelmed, right? Because when you have light sensitivity, for example, or letters are dancing in front of you, you're like, hmm, what in the world is that? Right. And then you avoid reading, you avoid bright places, you avoid going out during the daylight. There's a whole bunch of things. So your brain is saying, this is distracting me, this is hurting me, I don't want this. So then it shows up in your behavior. So what if you can